Good morning, it's Shanna, and we are going to just have a messy, whatever I feel like telling you kind of chat video today. Honestly, these last couple of weeks have been pretty rough in my brain and outside of it, if we're being honest. So I skipped video last week. I don't know. I think I kind of spoiled it for myself. I created a calendar with kind of ideas, you know. I try to do a video each week, and so I created a calendar with an idea each week for the next basically year. I don't have an idea for every single week, but most of the weeks are filled out, and for some reason, this is not unusual, it's not a surprise, but for some reason it throws me and it makes me feel pressured, and which is so ridiculous, right? Because it's myself. I'm the one that created it. I'm the one that wanted to do it, and yet here we are. So I'm kind of throwing that out the window a bit today for that reason, and the fact that I have this spread. I've had it on my table for a few days now, and I'm not ready to put it away just yet. I mean, I guess I am ready today because I would like to move this aside, but I thought in the interest of keeping things real, I would just start here and we could discuss, and we can talk about what I'm currently reading and decks I've used and the few decks that I brought in for the month of August. And maybe we'll kind of make it a wrap-up-ish as well. So that's where we are. A few days ago, I watched Candy, Soul, and Soil's video where she talked about doing her readings a little bit different, and she, you know, took us through the whole process. And I would love to repeat for you exactly what she said, but two things. A, I enjoy her videos enough to recommend that you just go watch hers because, B, I don't retain information like that. I don't know why, I just don't. However, after she did the video, I came up and sat down and wanted to do my own reading that was very similar. And I think the premise was that she had her weekly reading, and then I believe that she took the card for that particular day, that specific day that she was on, and then expanded. And if I'm wrong, like I said, I don't retain that information very well, but that's what I've done here. So this was the card that I drew for, let me back up. Oh gosh, what is that? Just got distracted. It is literally nothing. Okay, I thought I saw mold on my drawing flower, but no, sorry. My work week is split up in days, 4 days and then 3 days. So 4 days on, 3 days off. So each week I draw 4 cards for my work week, which, side note, I think I would also like to draw 3 cards for my days off. I just haven't done that yet, but I think I want to start doing that, and maybe I'll do that later this afternoon. But for now, we're going to focus on, this is my second day of the work week for this past week. And I think that was the biggest premise, now that I'm saying that out loud, is that Candy wanted to expand on her reading more than just having her 4 cards for the week, saying great, thanks, and then moving on again the next week. So that's what I did here. I actually pulled this out the day after this card was intended for. And I wanted to know more. Last week was, like I said, exceptionally difficult, and this week's reading, my 4 cards for this week were pretty positive. I had the 6 of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and I don't remember what else. Knight of Wands maybe, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to expand on this one here. So that's what I did. I pulled out Woodland Wardens, and ignore these cards. These are the peeking, just barely you can see. Those are for a different day. Like I said, we're just going with the mess. I just started recording and didn't clean up first, so we're just gonna go with it. So basically I asked Woodland Wardens, that's hard to say for some reason, to expand on this Seven of Pentacles. And honestly, I've been pulling this out more recently, and it's a really good deck. For anyone who already has it, you already know. But if you've been on the fence about getting this deck, I highly recommend, because I was on the fence. I only have had this for, I don't know, maybe 6 months, give or take. I don't know specifically, but not very long. And everyone talked about it and how good it was. And while it was pretty, and while I initially had this on pre-order when it very first came out, I didn't get it. So I held off, but now that I've been pulling it out more, reading the book, it's really good. The messages are good, and they make sense, and they work with multiple decks. The messages I guess I won't zoom in because I kind of want to work with this still. The messages just flow with whatever question I throw at it, and for that I very much appreciate it. And I think this can be any season deck. I think it works well for any of them. So that's what I did. Pulled out the cards, asked it to expand here. Based on this answer that I got, after reading the guidebook, I did use the guidebook. I decided to pull out my, what is this one? Thistledown. And asked kind of a clarifying question like how, and I'm not going to get into it too much because it's somewhat personal, or it's really personal. So I asked how I can, I'm trying to remember exactly how my questions went. I did journal it. I guess I could pull that out, but I'm probably not going to. Essentially, these were to expand here. This was to answer how to utilize what these cards are telling me. That's what this one was, which was great. And then for whatever reason, I decided that I wanted to pull out the Color Mage Oracle, which is this one here. And I did what I usually do, and that is, I'll try to remember to link the cards. I kind of went through a more detailed telling of how I use this deck specifically. But basically, I pull out the entire deck, I shuffle through it, I pull out as many cards as I want that feel match, coordinate, vibe with whatever card I'm using at the moment, without looking at the keywords. And then once I have my pile, I go through those and I pull out one card per card. So sometimes I'll have 3 Oracle or 3 Tarot, and I'll pull out one card per. So this time I just had the one. This was the one I pulled out, and it was interesting that it was disease, stress, and negativity because, yeah, I mean, yes. So then I was like, okay, well, let's expand on this. How do I come away from that disease, the stress and negativity? And that's when I pulled from the Roses Oracle, which is this guy here. And I'll be honest, once I pulled this, I felt like I needed one more little piece of, like, I guess like a full message, but just a punchy message, just to kind of tie everything up into a nice little bow so that I could pull it all together into one big message for that day, which is what I really needed, because I just, I don't know, I needed some hand holding. And I think that's what this spread is for me, was some hand holding and helping me process the feelings, the emotions, the anxieties, whatever it was I was going through on that particular day. And so lastly, I pulled out from, I'm only somewhat prepared here, and really by prepared I mean my boxes are laying all over the floor next to me. So this is the Count the Ways, A Poet's Oracle by Sarah Stacy. I will link, I'll link all of at least the indie decks, because I want to make sure everybody, it's easy to find what I'm talking about. This one, this is one I brought in this month, along with another of hers. I'll kind of get into that later in the video. This one I kind of went back and forth on. It's really pretty. I love the concept. It's cute, but I just was like, I don't know. Am I going to use it? How will I use it? I don't know. And so, you know, I'm sitting on the couch, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something, kind of scrolling through her pictures of this deck. And actually, let me pull this. The deck itself. These are the backs, which is funny. I've been like playing with this deck for probably a week now, give or take. And until yesterday, I had not ever once flipped it over to look at the backs. So there are the backs. You're welcome. I don't know why, but yes. Anyway, I keep getting off topic. Scrolling through her pictures on her Etsy shop, and I came across, again, I'm not prepared. We're just gonna go with it. There's a particular card in here that made me immediately, and I mean in that very moment, I threw it in the cart, added the other one that I wanted because she has a special going, or maybe it's just something that she does that if you buy 2 decks, you get 20% off. And there happened to be a second deck that I wanted that was available, and oh my goodness, where is it? Did I pass it? I must have passed it. Bear with me here. Okay, we'll kind of go a little bit slower, because surely it's here somewhere. And if it's not, then I will just tell you and accept the fact that I've taken the card out for some other reason. Oh, there it is. I did skip it. Okay, so I saw this card. It was just peeking out underneath one of the other cards in her images on her listing, and Anne Bradstreet is my 10th great grandmother. She was, according to everything I've read, she was the first published poet in America. So yeah, I had to have this deck. And it was a great quote for her. A lot of her quotes were, or not her quotes, a lot of her poetry was based on her move to America and her husband, her family, her home. So yeah, it's a great quote that Sarah chose for her. So yes, I've been enjoying this deck, and this is the card that I pulled out, shuffled. This is the one that fell out, and that was the one that sort of wrapped up the reading for me. And I think I did this Wednesday. No, today's Wednesday. I don't know what day I did it. Would have been Monday. Yes. So this has been sitting out for a couple of days. I haven't been ready to put it away. So that's what I've been doing. I do want to, honestly, I left it out because I kept meaning to journal it, and I just haven't. And I thought, you know, I don't have to journal it, even if it means something, even if it's deep. I don't have to. I did get a picture of it. I think I posted it on Instagram, so I can always come back to it. I do like to journal generally within a day or so of the reading, just because I feel like if I wait too long, then I'm getting messages out of it that are current versus what the message was when I drew the cards. So I probably won't journal it at this point, but it's been enjoyable walking past it, you know, multiple times a day. My desk up here is at the top of my stairs, so I pass it, you know, all day long, back and forth. So that's what I've been up to as far as pulling cards. Big truck passing. So I'll take this opportunity to have a drink. Oh, really quick, since we're on the topic of this Count the Ways Oracle, her little guidebook is very cool with it. Every single card has a 3-card spread. So I won't show everything just because I feel like there's too many people that, you know, have ill intent for that stuff. But yeah, every single card has 3 cards that you can, and it also has their information, when they lived, what school of poetry they followed, the themes, and then the full quote, or I guess, I don't know, is it the full? Looks like she's listed the title of the poem that was used, and then maybe just a larger part of it versus the one line that's on each of the cards. So this is a really cool little oracle, and I'm glad I have it. And she's actually coming out with at least one more deck that I think I really want. So keep an eye on her. She's got some really fun stuff, and yeah. So with that, I am going to kind of tidy this just a little bit, and then we can get into a couple other things. Yeah, if you don't have this Color Mage Oracle and you're on the fence, again, if you're on the fence, I think it's an amazing oracle. It works with literally any deck because of all the colors. I always feel like I'm cheating you if I don't show you at least some of the cards, because as I've said in the past, these videos were always very enjoyable, and they still are, but these videos were exceptionally enjoyable for me when I first started, and I would have been sad had I not been given at least some idea of what the deck is about if I've never seen it before. So each deck has a name of the color, or I guess what the creator would have called this color, so tumbleweed, but pumpkin, ego, indigo. So, and then like a little line that sort of describes the card. So yeah, I love this deck. It stays out with me all the time, and I use it a lot more than I even hoped I would. So that's that. We're just gonna tuck stuff away as I go. So basically you're helping me clean today, so thank you for that. This one, I have not used this a lot. I think if this was a pre-order, so I did get it, you know, when they first mailed out. I don't remember how long it's been. Maybe, I don't think it's been a year. But I love it. I love their artwork. Three Trees Tarot. They're one of two that I intend to get all of the cards or all of the decks for. You know, I'm in too deep at this point. There's no way I can't have like 6 of their decks and then just not get like their 7th or whatever. And speaking of that, even though we're kind of in the middle of picking up, I did receive the Heartwood deck yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, I think it was 2 days ago. This is gorgeous. I didn't realize the box was orange, but this is a gorgeous deck. I got the little coin that came with it, or that you could order with it. And it's one of the few decks that when it came, I unwrapped it. You know, I went through the little stickers that came with it and the little extra pieces of art. And then I sat and just flipped through the whole deck. Usually I don't, I get bored. I put it away until later. But I went through every single image, every card, because it was so pretty and worth the time. And the little coin. I have all the other coins. This was their Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Right? Oak, Ash, and Thorn? Yeah. And then I've got the Smoke, Ash, and Embers coin in my bedroom. So I'm not going to go get that, but... And they sent a little announcement along with everything else. I won't spoil the announcement, but if you've ordered this deck, you'll also see that. If you haven't ordered it, I'm sure that it will be on their website soon, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah, I'm not going to flip through everything, but this might be my favorite, which is saying something because I really, really enjoy Oak, Ash, and Thorn. I've very much been enjoying Smoke, Ash, and Embers this summer. This is the first summer I've really pulled it out to use it. But I like the little story in this. This feels more intertwined, I think, than the others. Not that that's a negative against the others, but yeah, this will be a fun one. And I think I can work with this, you know, late fall, early winter, November maybe, you know. side. I don't know, maybe at the end of this video we will pull 3 cards for my 3 days off. It'll be today, tomorrow, and Friday. And these, or rather this, is from the Mind's Eye, which, it's funny, this deck, I really enjoy it. I think the artwork's beautiful. I have found myself a lot lately saying it's not really my style, but... So I'm trying not to say that anymore, because obviously I've become more open-minded, which I appreciate. I think it's a good thing to do, and you know, if that's where you find yourself, I say embrace it, right? So I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this deck, and honestly, if I see someone reviewing this deck, I generally won't watch it, because most of the time they have strong opinions, I guess, that don't necessarily align with mine, so I don't watch them, because I don't want to spoil it for myself. But I love it. It's a beautiful deck. It shuffles well. Sorry, I missed one card. Yeah, this was 2 days ago. My card 2 days ago. And these were great. I read the messages that morning right before work, and they resonated. All that jazz. Again, I intended to journal, but it just wasn't in the cards. Haha. And I'm okay with that. I'm learning to just sort of be okay with not having to journal every single spread. Enjoying the moment with them and gleaning the message, and then feeling okay with just moving on, not having to document it. So I've been using that Mind's Eye a lot this month. Okay, last are these. I've really enjoyed this. It very much reminds me of, and maybe it's the same creator, I have no idea, but it reminds me of the Botanical Garden deck, which I just couldn't use because of the backs with the titles. It just threw me. So I've since rehomed that one, but I'm enjoying this one a lot. And I don't know, I'll have to rearrange my shelf because it's a bit of a mess right now. Okay, so I was going to use this one. This was the one I had pulled out originally before the roses, and I shuffled it, and it wasn't dropping a card for me. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe I wasn't supposed to use that card, and I was asking for 2 cards. So I just set this one aside, grabbed the Oracle of Roses. I mean, I didn't even have to repeat the question. I just, I overhanded it once, 2 cards fell out, and I went with it. So that's one of my favorite things about Tarot and Oracle. One of my favorite things is just when they listen and you don't have to, ask multiple times, and I just enjoy that. So we are going to pop open my journal. Let's see. So decks I've been using this month. We're not going to share the journal because I don't want to, but also I don't think actually I do. The Winter Seer. I don't use this deck often, but I've not felt compelled to rehome it either. And I have 2 of her other decks. Tempted to get Lion Strider, just haven't done it yet. So yeah, I've used this one a couple of times. Nothing significant that I can necessarily think about or think of. It smells good. But I do enjoy it. It's kind of a palette cleanser, I guess, for a reading. You get your keyword. I think, oh, and honestly, okay, quick note, maybe I've already mentioned this, but I wanted to mention it again because I had no idea. I've had this for, I don't know, a couple of years. And I was watching Cosmic Creeper's video on this, and she mentioned that I had it mentions Nordic folklore and gods and goddesses, and I had no idea. And I'm very much into Nordic folklore because that's my one side of my family's almost all Swedish. So yeah, this deck probably won't be going anywhere. So I've been working with this a little more this month. It doesn't quite have like a solid place or a specific job as yet, but being able to just pull it out and have a nice clarifying message to go with whatever deck I'm using is nice. Let's see what else. The Mind's Eye Tarot, which I've already showed you. I've been using the Tyldwick, which is this one, the 10th anniversary. I think I used this a little bit last month as well. It just kind of has that late summer vibe, so I've kept it out. I want to make a quick note too, because I didn't mention this last time when I pulled this out. This guidebook is ridiculously tiny. It's impossible to read. Even with glasses, even with my reading glasses, it's like the text is almost blurry. Like it's hard to read. However, someone, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Fairlight Tarot. I think she created a PDF of this guidebook and has a shareable link. I'll try to find it. If I find it, I will share it. If you don't see it in the description box and you're interested, let me know and I will figure it out and get it sent to you. But it's been nice, and I'm trying, and maybe it'll be my winter project, the indoor cold winter month project, but I'm trying to make an actual book out of it, just for me. And I've not done it yet. It's a slow project, but like I said, probably something more geared towards winter. But yeah, Tyldwick Tarot, this feels very late summer. In the past, I usually use it in September, so I will likely be keeping this deck out for next month. But I've been enjoying its quiet voice. It has a lot to say, but it's not, I don't usually get an immediate answer from this deck. This is one that I pull and sit with and enjoy and muse over, so that's another one I've used. Let's see what else. The Playful Heart. Okay, I have to move my chair for this one. I think I mentioned this last month as well. So I've been pulling this out more regularly. This is my therapy deck. This is the deck that I use before and or after therapy. And it's been brilliant for that specifically. And I not every deck that I have needs a specific job, but I do enjoy it when I find a specific job for a deck that I haven't otherwise used a lot, or I couldn't quite figure out how to use. That thrills me, because not using one of my decks bums me out. So that's the Playful Heart, and this has been great. It's a perfect therapy deck for me. Straight shooter, gets right to the point. Yeah, enjoyable. Edges have been colored, not by me. It's just according to, I think it's like pink on wands, blue on cups, green or yellow on pentacles. Anyway, so on and so forth. The creator was one of those things you could pay a few extra dollars for, and the creator would do it for you, which is great. Okay. Oh, lastly, okay, so Majestic Earth in the past couple of years that I've had this has been my August deck, and I've loved it for that, but I didn't use it very much this year, which kind of bums me out because it's one of my favorites, but I'm okay with it. It's not going anywhere. It's still safe. 100%. This is a lifer deck. I think I just pulled it out once or twice. It just, I don't know, didn't have anything to say to me this year, I guess. So it will likely go back in my drawer until next month, or excuse me, until next year. Huh, never noticed that face in there before. It's funny what you see. Yeah, okay, so that's that. Sorry, I'm gonna take another drink. I'm just looking out my window and realize that my neighbor's tree is starting to turn, which is always the first sign. Their tree is the first to turn and the first to bloom fall in spring. Kind of bums me out. I've really enjoyed the summer. It's been a nice summer. Not too hot, save for a couple of days, but oh well. I'm gearing up for fall, slowly but surely. I changed a couple of things on my bookshelf this morning when I cleaned. I took out like one of my green plants and put in one of my like fall looking plants. So I'm getting there. Okay, next up is, let's talk about what my card of the month was for this month, for August. As a lot of us do, I did a 12-month year ahead spread in January. This was the card for August. Knight of Swords. I've looked at this multiple times, and I haven't quite figured out how it fits in, I'll be honest. I'm not sure how it... I'm not sure what its message was for me this month. I mean, movement, you know. Oh, did I say Knight of Wands? Knight of Swords? Have I been thinking this is Wands the whole month? Huh. Well, that changes things, doesn't it? Interesting. Because I think in my mind I've thought this was Wands. For whatever reason, it literally says Swords, so I don't know why I think that, but... Okay, well, I'm actually going to leave this out for a couple of days, and that's a great journaling opportunity right there. So as far as decks I've brought in, let's see. Okay, I did bring in. I'm going to pause though because some of these I've put in the other room. Okay. One of the next decks that came into my collection is the Animal Guide Rune cards. I haven't really seen this anywhere, I don't think. It's new. I think it just came out this month, probably. It's US Games. It's got a nice chunky little guidebook. No, it is US Games, but it's Blue Angel. So, nice guidebook. Obviously, it teaches you the runes, which I've struggled. I want to learn the runes. I think it's a cool concept. I just haven't found the right way to do it, I suppose. And reading a rune book is boring for me, so I thought this one might work once I'm ready to do it, because right now it's not the right time. But having an animal associated with each rune, I thought might be a good way to help me remember and understand its concept a little more. And they're nice looking cards, you know? It's Blue Angel, it's great cardstock, it's matte. These are the backs. And like I said, I'm kind of into Nordic type lore. So that's that. Alright, next is the second deck by Sarah Stacy that I was telling you about, the Secret Garden Oracle. This one's small. It's like probably poker or bridge size. It's small. I will say, if we're being completely honest, I don't love the box choice because these are definitely not going to last at all, which is fine. Like, I put a lot of my decks in bags like to use them, but to store them, I keep them in their box. So this is, in my mind, a little unfortunate. Even though the design itself is pretty, it's just not really something that's going to last. So, yeah. This, you can into the guidebook. Relatively, it's got some keywords and then a little message for each of the cards. Cute little book. Nice size for a, you know, small oracle. Well, let's just leave my journal here for everybody to read. Just realizing that now. So, go me. That's okay. This is an oracle based on the book The Secret Garden by, is it Louisa May Alcott? I think so. Hopefully that's right. But let's discuss multiple color backgrounds. We all know I have a weak spot for that. Love the concept of this deck, but the multiple color backgrounds is ultimately what sold me on the deck. So I rearrange here a little. Basically, she's taken an excerpt from the book, given it a keyword, added, you know, an image, and then put the page, which I really appreciate. I love that she added the page because, you know, if I go get my book, which I think I have my original from when I was a kid somewhere, I can find this page and do as I would, you know, I don't know, bibliomancy with it, or just catch up on the book itself. But I think the images are so sweet and I love it. It's another one that I think can work for any season. I think it would look great with my Little Bird Tarot. It just has a soft, gentle, nice little vibe, you know? I like it. These are the backs, which I thought were really pretty. Gosh, what's that? I love it. Super cute. Love all the tones. And I love the images she chose, you know, for the keywords. And that's that. So yeah, that is the Secret Garden Oracle. Sorry if you can hear the garbage truck. More than likely you can. That's, you know, it is what it is. Okay, what next? Oh, okay. So this is another one I brought in. This was an eBay find. And it's always funny when I buy stuff on eBay and then I show it here. It came with this bag. I always think, what if the person who I bought it from watches my channel? How funny would that be? But if you're watching, thank you, because I've wanted this deck for a very long time. And that's the Kei Tarot Love. I don't know if that's how you say the name, K-E-I, but that's how I say it, so that's how we're going to say it. Like I said, I've wanted this for a long time. I believe the edges come like this, if I remember correctly. Like if you buy it from the creator, that's how they come. This is the guidebook that she sends with it. It's tied like that. Very short messages for each of the cards, which is fine. I've not used this. And quick disclosure, I'm pretty sure I got this in August. I'm pretty sure it came this month. But if for some weird reason I've already showed you this and I told you it came that month, believe that, Shanna, because I'm not 100% sure. It wasn't written in my journal, but I think I just forgot to write it. So, yeah. This one, like I said, I've wanted this for a long time. Can we talk about this weird number on every single card? Why? I don't understand. Is that the artist's signature? I mean, like, I guess okay. But as an artist, I feel like, wouldn't you blend it in a little bit? But maybe you wouldn't because you really want people to know it's you, right? I don't know. It's a little distracting. But I think once I'm using it, once I'm in the moment of a reading, I don't think it will be a big deal. It's small. Some of them are cut off. I just think it's a pretty deck and I wanted it for a long time. And I found it for a good deal on eBay and went for it. Wow, it's a loud truck. Oops. This is still available. I think she's got 2 or 3 other decks as well. love the colors. It feels very March or April to me. Kind of a chilly spring deck. So it will likely be coming out early next year. That's funny. I thought, oh, I didn't get very many decks this month, but I guess I didn't compared to last month, because last month I feel like I brought in a ton. What else? Okay, I brought in Tarot of the Huntress by Kara Small. She is here on YouTube. There's her name. I'll be sure to link her below. If there's anything I forget, which usually I don't, but if I forget anything, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to direct you. She also Kara Small also has Tarot of Persephone's Garden, which I also have, but the color scheme of this one is much more satisfying to me. I've never really been a big fan of like the pinks and the reds and the warm kind of those tones. So the deck is beautiful, but I gravitate towards this a little more. I think this deck's going to look fantastic with Majestic Earth. I think I've used it already. I mean, I know I have. I think I might have posted a picture of it on Instagram, regardless. This is beautiful. I feel like I can, again, this is a late summer, early winter kind of vibe deck to me. Sorry, I just smelled it. I don't know why I do that. It's very pretty. Love the images she chose. I feel like she upped her game. I feel like Kara upped her game with this deck. I think she's got another one in the works, if I remember her saying so. Could be wrong, but I think that's what I remember her saying. I do wish there were more, I wish there was more artwork that was specific to Nordic. Like, this is pretty specific to Greek, and I know there's a lot of crossover. She talked about that. There is a lot of crossover between Greek mythology and Nordic mythology, which I appreciate. The back's beautiful. So that is Tarot of the Huntress for Artemis, in case you didn't know. Okay, so I think the last deck that I really worked with this month, it was, I should know her name, but I think I don't remember her name because she doesn't usually say it at the beginning of her video, but it is on her YouTube, so shame on me for not knowing her name, but it's Moonflower Moments. 99.9% sure that's who it is. She was recently talking about kind of coming into her creative era. She talked about the color orange for herself, and I feel like I'm mixing up things that happened, but I'm pretty sure she talked about this deck and how she uses it for her creative work. I don't know that this is like her only deck that she uses for that, but I really struggled with this deck. You know, I wanted it, the concept is cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I have the big book that the artist, came like this. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, have the big book. Barely cracked it open. I think I looked at the table of contents and was like, oh, yeah, I will probably never read that. However, after I saw Moonflower Moments videos, her name will come to me eventually. And she talked about using this for creative work. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to use this deck for. It's so busy. There's so much going on, but I feel like if I were to draw a card when I need an idea for a story, you know, am I writing poetry? Am I trying to finish a book? I just, you know, I have a whole entire novel, whole book finished. Two things that are holding me back. The editing process, because I get so bored, and the ending kind of sucks. Like it's like blah blah blah, story, and then I'm like, and then this happened in the end. So yeah, I need to work on the ending. So I think this deck will be able to help me do that. I think I'll be able to pull a single card and get a lot of creative hits with it. And I pulled a card the other day just to kind of get a little taste of whether or not that would work for me, and yeah, it was good. I think I asked specifically about a different creative project that I'm working on, and it was really good. The card I got, that was the one that was on top, which is this one, Nine of Worlds. So yeah, I pulled this one back out. This one was kind of tucked away in a drawer far, far away, but I pulled it back out. I intend to use it, and I popped open the little book that comes with the deck, and this is a lot better. This is much more my speed right now in my life, for me, maybe forever, but yeah, this is a good little book. It's all I need. I don't know why I thought I needed the other one, but, and I was surprised. When I first brought this deck home, I kind of flipped through it and I was like, immediate overwhelm, right? Since having it and since pulling it out and using it, I've tried shuffling it because I was like, if it shuffles well, maybe it's worth keeping. It shuffles super well. So, in case you're wondering, it is that glossy old cardstock. You would think it's a little sticky, and it is, I guess, if you want to fan it a little bit, but it's not bad. And I think with use, it'll get better. So, in case you're curious. Nobody asked, but I'm telling you anyway. So that's the Voyager Tarot, and I think that's the last one I used and or brought in. So let's talk about the book I finished reading. And that is Nora Roberts' Dance Upon the Air, which, if you know Nora Roberts, you know. I picked her up several months ago. Actually, I think it was at the beginning of or the end of 2023, at the recommendation of Christine Rose Elle. It was a different trilogy, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoy Nora Roberts. I had never read her before 2023. I thought she would be a typical romance writer, but there are a couple things that took me by surprise. One, leftover, is that she has a gajillion books that she's written. Like, this is just a tiny, tiny taste of what she's written. So, she writes like so many books. Do I think she's the best author out there? Not necessarily, but her style is the perfect read for me at the end of the day before bed. I look forward to it every night. I finish whatever I'm doing for the night, get ready for bed, climb in, and I just read for 15 or 20 minutes, and it's just perfect. It's very low stakes. Everyone that I've read is very low stakes. It does have the antagonist, but it's like the first book I read of hers took me by surprise, because you literally read the entire book leading up to the epic battle, right? And the epic battle, not this book, but the epic battle literally took like a page. And then it was over and everybody lived happily ever after. And it was just, I don't know, maybe that's not your vibe, and that's okay. I didn't think it would be mine either, but it's really good. I like her. And she writes, the first trilogy I read was a witchy trilogy. I'll link everything below, as I keep saying. This is a second witchy trilogy that I did not realize she had. I thought she had just written the one that was kind of witch themed. But I'm enjoying this. It's good. I feel like this one's a little more simplistic than the first trilogy, but enjoying it nonetheless. And she has these little things that the characters do, witchy things, and so I'm like dog-earing because I I want to try it or something. So that's been fun. I found all three of these on eBay, I think for like $10 total. So it's been good. And that's what I read this month. That's what I finished. Oh yeah, I do think I pulled out my iPad, but I had to charge it. So let's open it up here. I think I read and finished another book as well. I just want to double check. In the interest of being complete or whatever, right? Let's see. soon as it decides to load. Let's have a drink. And if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for sitting here with me. This was a very unstructured video. It's kind of what I needed. Okay, so the people we keep. I'm not going to go get the books because I have my thing right here. We're just going to do it the simple way. Again, I'm pretty sure I finished this month, not last. So if I've already talked about it, feel free to skip ahead. I'm pretty sure I finished this month. This was a book my best friend and I read together, and I think we read like 2 chapters. Yeah, it was 2 chapters a night, which the chapters in this book are like 2 and 3 and 4 pages long, so it was kind of perfect. I had a lot of fun reading with a friend. It was cool. We got to kind of learn a little bit more about each other, just our opinions about things, and this was a good book. I'd say it's 4 stars. Basically, this girl, I think she's probably 16. The beginning of the book is her in high school, kind of her relationship with her boyfriend, and then her tumultuous relationship with her father, and basically a woman who works at the diner who's friends with her father. Her father's been remarried. Anyway, tumultuous relationships, and she runs away, and it kind of takes you through the next, I want to say like 8 years, give or take, of her life. It was good. Like, the main character kind of drove me nuts a little bit some of the time, but overall I really liked it. I liked the characters in the book. It has kind of the same vibe as the Rainbow Roll books. Anyway, I don't know why specifically, it just kind of has that vibe to me. So yeah, definitely recommend. It's an easy one. Like I said, the chapters are short, so if you're looking for something to just pull out and read 4 or 5 minutes worth, maybe 10 minutes, that's a good one. All right, next I read Midnight at the Blackbird Cafe. This one I listened to on Audible. It's another 4 stars for me. This one was good. It wasn't as good as I had hoped. It's very magical realism, which I enjoy. But I think, is it Sarah Addison something or other? I think Sarah Addison writes better than this person. I don't know how many books this person has written, and maybe this is their first. I don't know. It was good. I would recommend it. It's not really witchy per se, but it's magical, which is nice. The characters are fun. It's a little predictable, but you know what? I listen to my Audible books. I listen to on the way to and from work, and it's perfect. I've got 20 minutes in the car. I get some story that I get to have in my head for the first little while at work, and helps me kind of decompress on the drive home. So definitely, again, I would recommend it. Yeah. And as far as read books, that is it. Or completed. I don't read these in 1 month. These are books that I've completed. So usually anyway, you get it. So I think that's it. Is that all I talk about? Decks I brought in, decks I used, books I read. I feel like maybe there was something else, but I think that might be it. Let's take a look at my journal, because I think I have a note in here somewhere. Is it my journal? No, I think it's my planner. Let's see. So yeah, this is the calendar I made. The other side has all my sticky notes. I don't want to give away all my ideas, but this is what I came up with. So then each week I just, I have like a little, I guess the other sticky notes are downstairs. Yeah, just little stickies that I think it's 1 inch by 1 inch, and I put them in there. That way I can kind of move weeks as I go, which has been convenient. But I think at the end of the day, it might work better for me just to have a running list and then just cross them off. To not have them in any particular order or feel like I have to stick with a schedule. Because it's just, I don't know. We'll see. We're working with it. What was I looking up? Oh yeah, if there was anything else I wanted to talk about. See, this is why I should make notes ahead of time for what I want to talk about. But I didn't, so here we are. We're just gonna take a quick peek at this. I don't think I have anything else written. So yeah, I think we'll just wrap it up. That seems like... Oh, I do want to say, really quickly. So I brought this book in. Christine Rose Elle talked about this, I think 2 videos ago on her channel, and I love Llewellyn stuff. Like, you know, none of it's super deep or in depth, but I feel like it's a nice little jumping off point for whatever it is that the book is about. And I kind of wanted maybe like a little bit of a kind of like a tour guide through the Sabbats, right? Like maybe something that I could follow, give me a couple ideas, because I don't know about you, but as much as I want to do all of the things, it's not really even about time. I don't know how to I feel like there's too many things that I want to do. And I get overwhelmed and I don't do any of them, which is why I have this book, The Witch's Spell a Day Almanac, because it, you know, I can read ahead for a week, read ahead for the coming week, pick a couple spells if I want to, and then I've got it right in front of me, and I know that on Wednesday night, that's what I want to do. That's how I do my witchiness. I guess, you know, I make no apologies. That's how it works for me. So I wanted to get this book because, like I said, I wanted a little tour guide. So I let Christine know, and I said, hey, what if we read the book together? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna read the book together and potentially discuss on a video. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll see how it goes. So that's that. Yeah, that's all I have. And hopefully things will feel less, I don't know, annoying. I don't know a better word for it. Hopefully I am in a good place next week and I'll be back again, because I like it here and I like chatting with you guys and keeping up with things. So with all of that being said, I'm rambling at this point. So you guys have a good week. I will catch you next week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.